Mr. Chief Justice Roberts, I had the privilege and pleasure of witnessing your remarks related to the integrity of the Supreme Court some time ago, and feel that this commentary did leave some important points unaddressed. I had never believed that a single person could damage the United States of America, but Senator McConnell proved me to be incorrect. I stand corrected. Senator McConnell, by failing to hold constitutionally mandated hearings when Attorney General Garland was nominated to a seat on the Supreme Court based on some non-constitutional argument related to precedent in direct compliance with party wishes, chose to not hold hearings. However, could jump ahead and, after taking 12 months to fill one seat, fill another in less than 3 weeks. This is not equal treatment under law, and Mr. McConnell should know better. As a veteran, he swore to uphold the Constitution and failed miserably in doing so. 2 of the last 3 appointments to the court have questionable integrity simply because it was widely publicized that they would not be nominated unless they were sworn to not recuse themselves for cause should their nominating authority be a party to any matter in front of the court. This is a breach of ethics. The fact that the United States Senate could not find a way to ask the question in such a way that these 2 nominees could answer it is their fault. The fact that these 2 nominees worked so hard to not address this with candor and in a straightforward manner is theirs. Recent events lead to the nominating authority for both Justices Kavanaugh and Barrett demanding recusal of judges for things such as a judge's daughter is involved in political activities. This would, of course, put Justice Thomas in a rather odd position because it's not his daughter, an adult daughter who no longer lives at home. It is, in fact, his spouse with whom he shares bed and board. If the court is to maintain its integrity, the 2 members who have sworn not to recuse themselves for cause in matters involving their nominating authority, and the member whose immediate family member is so highly involved in political activity involving a potential party before the court, these 3 justices must be required to recuse themselves. This does still leave the question of Justices Gorsuch and Jackson. I am loath to recommend that they remain on the court simply because the nominating authority of both of those justices will be either a direct or indirect party to any matters before the court related to the 2020 election and implicating the 2024 presidential election. To permit a quorum of the court and retain both Justices Gorsuch and Jackson, neither of whom are tainted by a publicized requirement of an oath to not recuse, would permit the Supreme Court to weigh in on the matter. It does ideologically put the court in what is effectively a 3-3 potential tie, as most people in this country see it. But quite frankly, Justice Kavanaugh has, in my readings, while I haven't always agreed, at least worked his way through the law and the logic in a way that I could understand, even if I disagreed. Justice Jackson I have not had enough experience reading her commentary on decisions to have an impression one way or the other. I therefore would offer up, Mr. Chief Justice, that you decide whether a 6-member court is capable of reaching an absolute majority decision, without regard to what that decision would be. But a decision that would necessarily be at least 4-2 in favor of either party before the court. But to restore integrity in the court, we need to do this. In order to restore integrity in our government, the courts need to take the lead. That's not what I understood the framers to intend. It is, however, the position in which we find ourselves today. This is an open letter to Chief Justice John Roberts. I hope those of you who have joined in will comment. Please subscribe to the channel. I'd like to learn what things I get right and what I get wrong, and I'd appreciate your help in doing that. Mr. Chief Justice, with respect, please keep well. God save the court.